Good morning. It's Wednesday morning. Yesterday I had my first teaching assignment. It was a high school, and it was a planned absence, so the teacher already had a lot of self-work for them to do. So really, I did nothing. It was still very tiring because I was sitting in an uncomfortable chair. Um, I can't use the teacher's chair. Well, first of all, she said, "Don't use my chair." But there were other wheeled chairs, and I can't use those. I'm afraid they're going to break. So I borrowed students' chairs, and they were not comfortable at all for me, and certainly not long term. So there was more walking than I'm used to. Part because I also had to walk between one class to another class to cover another class for a while. Um, Part I didn't eat much. I had one protein bar, and I had just like 250 mils of water the whole time. I didn't have morning coffee because I didn't want to have to do a lot of restroom breaks because I didn't know how to coordinate them, and it would have been difficult anyway. So I came home very, very tired, partly dehydration, partly more walking, partly sitting uncomfortable, because you're shifting, even unconsciously, you're shifting when you're uncomfortable in a chair. So I came home and just went to sleep for like 4 hours. So it's the next day. The answer is I'm a lot more out of shape than I think I am because I've never really pushed myself, and I pushed myself, and I'm going to continue doing it. Don't get me wrong. This was the little local school. It's a very small town, so I saw a lot of repeat children. Um, Despite not being able to do much other than babysit, I did make a bit of an impression on a couple of the girls because they were kind of being silly around me after school as I was walking to the office. So if they're comfortable being silly around me, I think they were comfortable around me in general. Anyway, what else? Um, I'm doing a bit of a cutback this week because I was disappointed by last week. Again, still making sure I'm getting good food, but definitely limiting the amounts. Um, Maybe I'll do a little presentation this week or maybe next about the chemistry of protein versus carb versus fat, and to kind of explain it a little, why you need to cut the carbs and up the proteins a bit. And again, I'm not an expert. I'm just telling you what I'm going through. So I will give an update. This is just the traditional sort of Wednesday morning that I decided I would do. Got a nice big cup of coffee. Didn't start the day with coffee yesterday. Started the day with coffee today. Feel like I need it, even though I slept 4 hours, then I was up for a while, then I had a fairly good night's sleep. Weird dreams, but just about odd church camps and things like that, and very confusing, whatever. Dreams are dreams, and I think some people put too much into them. This was just a very confusing dream, probably brought on by just stress or something. Who knows? Or as Ebenezer Scrooge says, could be a bad potato, even though I didn't eat a potato. Mm. So continue doing what you're doing. Continue advancing forwards. I mean, this taking this job is part of advancing forwards, part of taking more charge and trying to improve myself, not just my weight. God bless, and take that God bless, whichever God you want, and if you don't believe in a God, just take it as a blessing. Good morning. Looking a little disheveled this morning, I know. My youngest is off on a school trip. It's a Saturday, but they had to leave very early, so I got up very early, took her to the departure point, came home, rested, and now I'm awake. Not a lot of news other than what I already shared about the job assignment. Again, sorry for looking very disheveled. I may redo this. No, forget it. You can see me looking disheveled. I did have some problems this week. I ate more bread than I should have. Bread is I think it's a problem for a lot of people. It's an easy temptation, even just a piece of bread. But I didn't do too much damage, so that's good, because I've been eating fairly well other than that. I did go buy some celery, because sometimes you want something crunchy. And I know it's one of those things, ooh, you're feeling hungry, just eat some celery. Oh, you want this, eat some celery. No, I'm trying to make sure that when I do have those crunchy cravings, I have something. You can put some things on celery, but you put too much on celery, you undo the good of having celery. The myth of celery is that it takes more to digest than it produces. I'm not sure how that logic works. The biggest thing about celery, though, is it consists almost entirely of water and fiber. So there's really nothing for your body to absorb. So it's mostly a freebie. So everyone, keep up the good work. What are your temptations? What are things that you just go, And they're often there. I mean, bread is often there. I have kids, so I have bread so they can make themselves sandwiches, which is an easy thing for kids to do for themselves. What are your temptations? And if you have a thing that you think is a good tip, share it. What have you done or what have you found to be a successful thing that you can do to avoid temptation or to deal with temptation? I've always said I'm not an expert, and I'm always open to new ideas. So let me know. And before I get to the weigh-in, I'm going to just please give a like. Please share. Again, I'm getting, it's a slow growth, but it's nice to know that more people are watching the videos and hopefully feeling supported, and I feel supported knowing you're there. So like and share and subscribe. Now the subscribing, I'm not going to become a famous YouTuber. I'm very far away from any kind of number that means anything, but it's just a good idea of how many regular viewers there are. I don't know how many views each video gets, but how many people are likely returning is kind of an interesting thing for me to know. So like, share, and subscribe. I do have some good news, and maybe I should pull it up. Hang on. That's the advantage of not using the computer's camera, because it's not very good, unfortunately. Well, the camera's okay, the microphone's not that good. Is that I can pull up things at the same time. So I knew the number, I just want to see how much it was. 487.5. So over the week I lost 4.7, which is good. Probably that extra 0.3 was the bread that I ate that I should have resisted some temptation to. So it would have been a 5-pound week, but it is what it is. Continue your journeys. Thank you for joining me on mine.